Guilt is killing you. It's killing you. Guilt makes you sick. All disease starts in the mind. It does. So we're going to talk about that today. How guilt could be making you sick. Hey, are you sick? Are you mentally ill? Do you have a chronic condition? Have you tried everything to relieve your suffering, but you're still sick? You're still suffering? Well, stick around. We're going to talk about that today, because here on the Shaman Patrick Show, we talk about current events and other stuff, but the primary focus of this show is on healing, becoming more conscious, maybe even being a better person. I don't know. So if you want to learn how guilt could be making you sick, stick around. On this episode of the Shaman Patrick Show, let's get better. All right, let's go.
He was once a storm in human form, sharp tongue, cold soul, heart worn and torn, living like a ghost who missed his grave till the spirit sang out and called him brave. He got rewired by the great unknown, heard the call like a dial tone to the bone. So pull up a chair, enjoy the glow. This is the Shaman Patrick Show.
All y'all know that I started having digestive problems about a year into my sobriety, around the same time that some shenanigans, some tomfoolery from my family was going on. And I couldn't get relief from these symptoms. Like IBS is one of those weird things that it's just hell on earth. You can't do anything about it. It doesn't completely level you out. Most times. I mean, you can still technically live. You could still technically get things done. But the pain, oh my God. You kind of have to learn to live with this pain. But the pain and the suffering is what burns out the ego. So eventually I got to the point where I obviously need to feel this pain, because there's nothing I can do. There's no pill I can take. No diet I can do. It's just some days are really good and some days are really bad. Most days are just do. It's a lot better than it used to be. Oh my God, it's so much better than it used to be. But there were times I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know if this is difficult. And it's one of those conditions that people look at you and they're like, well, you look fine. Well, yeah, you're gonna look fine. I mean, but it gives you brain fog, it color. There are many days I made videos where I was like, oh my God, but I did it anyway. I wasn't going to let this shit define me. So after a time of going to gastroenterologists and whatever, I'm like, oh God, this is just ego stuff. It's just ego. It's just resistance. That's all it is. But it's buried down deep. There's a lot of unconscious anger. There's a lot of pissed off Patrick hidden in that stuff. And so, you know, I came to understand that it's just going to happen on its own timetable. You know, do you want it over today? What would your life look like if all your suffering and all your pain could be over today? It's just like, what would that look like? You would be transported into a new reality. You'd be like, oh my God. So healing, let the healing take time. You know, and I'm talking about IBS here, but I could be talking about anything. Migraines, chronic fatigue syndrome, like any of those weird diseases or chronic conditions, and they just don't know what causes them. They don't know what happens, or they're spiritual diseases. Like I'm going to talk about in this presentation, like please go to a doctor. Please get yourself checked out. And when the doctor says, we don't know what to do, it's probably ego issues. It's probably ego stuff. I know mine is ego stuff, programming, conditioning, and you have to make your peace with that. And you have to let it work itself out. And you have to go through the discomfort. You can't reach for a pain reliever because the pain is what you need to feel. And that can be very difficult for people to wrap their heads around, because you think that to avoid the pain is what we want, but avoiding the pain got us in this situation to begin with. Not wanting to face the truth about things got us into this situation to begin with. So yeah, I'm sorry. We're just going to have to feel some pain because it's about damn time. And that makes people feel like, woo, this is crazy. Why would I do things that make me feel pain? No, you're not doing things that make you feel pain. The pain is already there and now you're just feeling it. Happy birthday. How does it feel to finally feel that pain? Not so good. But if you try to run away, if you try to escape, you just delay the inevitable. And what's the inevitable? You're going to be healed. I'm sorry. It's going to happen for you. If you stick it out and you go through it, you're going to be healed on a level that you may never have experienced before. Yeah, even though I still have some issues in my abdominal area, largely, I'm like, wow, what on the other side of it? I know that my issue started in 2019. It's 6 years of this shit. After a lifetime of not dealing with it, I'll take the 6 years. But you also, here's something that you don't do anymore. You don't incur new hurts. You don't incur new wounds. Eventually, you're going to get to the end of the shit that you could feel. You're going to get to the end of it. And when you're at the end of it, it'll be like it never even happened. Do you want that, or do you want to continue to marinate in pain and suffering? Well, today we're going to talk about how guilt makes you sick. This is where I got, like, I had guilt over things. Why? Why would I feel guilty over things? So if you're sick, you're probably feeling guilty about something. Oh my God, Patrick, why? Why? I'm not guilty. Oh, honey, yes, I thought so too. I totally thought I wasn't guilty. Yeah, sure, I'm not guilty. What do I have to be guilty over? Stick around, all right? So guilt, the silent serial killer. You think you're sick because of germs? Cute. The truth is uglier. Guilt and shame are the real disease factories. The ego, that nasty little troll in your head, manufactures guilt 24/7, and your body is just the dumping ground. Every migraine, every flare-up, every mystery illness is your mind projecting guilt onto your flesh. Of course, get yourself checked out by medical professionals. Deal with your trauma by getting EMDR or active resolution therapy. But when the doctors fail to address it, the true culprit might be guilt. Don't you want relief from your suffering? Don't you want relief from all of this? You would be surprised. You would be surprised when I try to help people ease their suffering, and then all of a sudden they don't mind being sick. Oop, I turned that light off. Here, let me turn this back on. They don't mind suffering so much. They're like, ooh, I love my suffering, Patrick. Don't try to make me feel good. I love my suffering. And I'm like, okay, that's a little loony. You do it. You try to relieve somebody's suffering and they're like, no, I want it. I want to suffer. It's crazy, isn't it? Because it is. But disease starts in the mind. Here's the hill I'll die on. Disease doesn't start in the body, it starts in the mind. Before you felt the ache in your back or that lump in your throat, there was a thought, a toxic one, guilt, shame, resentment, the psychic sludge that eats away at your system. People hate hearing this. They'll argue until their throats are raw because it's easier to blame bad luck than admit they've been stewing in poisonous emotions. But guilt and shame, those are the original pathogens. Stress already proves the mind makes the body sick. Why pretend guilt gets a free pass? Do you know how much stress causes disease? Because stress wears down your immune system. And when your immune system is worn down, then all these pathogens enter your body and your bloodstream. It's your immune system gets worn down by stress. And where does stress come from? The mind. So that's a key as to how disease could start in the mind, through stress, through thoughts, through guilt. All of these things are up here, yo. guilt, stress, resentments, grievance, all up here could drive a person to drink, having all that shit up there. One of the things about getting sober is you can't have that shit around in your life anymore. You can't have people pushing your buttons or causing you trouble or making you angry. You just can't do it. I'd rather not have to go to the liquor store anymore to deal with something, but I'm probably not going to. It's just that's sanity. You're just like, I'm not gonna sleep in a bed made of barbed wire anymore. I'm not gonna go down a dark alley. I'm not gonna put myself in a situation that's not safe. That's the logical, rational thing to do. But I'm gonna ask you a question. What is more powerful, the mind or the body? Your answer will illuminate your path to healing. If you think that the body is more powerful than the mind, go on. Go on. If you believe that the body is more powerful than the mind, go on. Because the mind controls the body. So the mind is more powerful than the body. So I've been able to do this. I can command my stomach to calm the fuck down. I can't do it all the time. Just sometimes the stars will align. I'll be like, calm the fuck down, bitch. What are you so upset over? Everything's fine. Calm the fuck down. Because here's something that I started to notice. Y'all want to hear something that I started to notice about my stomach issues? When I wake up in the morning, I don't have them. I don't have them at all. And a few minutes after being awake, it starts going on. So I know it's something up here. I know it's something involuntary. I know it's something that I'm not doing. Lately, when I wake up, I don't have them. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have them. Then I'm like, ooh, what's life going to be like without these? So yes, I am aware there's something up here making me sick, and it's probably guilt. And I'm going through this as I'm telling you about it. I'm going through it too. That's what I do. I was like, I want to address something, and then I'll make a presentation about it and I'll share it with you. That's what I do here. So I'm going through it too. But I was like, it's got to be up here. I went to a therapist about it, and she goes, yeah, it's up here. IBS is up here. Oh no, Patrick, don't tell me my digestive disorders are all in my mind. They are. Wah, wah. They're all in your mind. Oh my God, nobody wants to hear that. Are you saying that I'm just making it up? Yeah. Yeah. But do you know that you're making it up? Do you know that it's all in your mind? When that therapist told me it was all in my mind, I'm like, you're probably right, but I don't know what to do about it. How do I change my mind? That programming is buried pretty damn deep. Pretty damn deep. I mean, it may take a while to get to the root of all that programming. Told a gastroenterologist what my therapist said. The gastroenterologist said, yeah, they're right. It's all up here. But so the medications they give to address the things down here will give you relief in symptoms here so that you can make that mental change. Nobody wants to hear that it's all in their mind, but once you know it's all in your mind, there's the solution. There's the solution. Like I said, you don't have to believe me, and please don't take this as medical advice. It's not. But find out for yourself. If you have a really good therapist or a really good gastro, they'll tell you. All up here. And so involuntary thinking, involuntary stuff like that is ego. 100% of the time. And if you think that you've done all this ego work and there's still stuff to do, hey, listen, you might still have people in your life keeping some of this guilt going. I know I did. I mean, this is why you can't have liars in your life, gaslighters in your life, people who make you feel guilty. Do you know about this stuff? You know about people who does anybody in your life try to make you guilty? We're going to get into that. But I want to talk about guilt and the ego, the toxic power couple. The ego thrives on guilt the way mold thrives in damp basements. It feeds you endless shame snacks. You're not enough. You're too much and you should have done better. And when your mind is stuffed with that sludge, It punts the whole mess onto your body. Cue the ulcers, autoimmune freakouts, and WebMD death spirals. Guilt and ego go hand in hand. See, all of those things that are from the ego, guilt, shame, resentment, grief, all of it comes from the ego. If you need help sorting all that out, please get a copy of our book, The Machinations of Ego. If you're ready to break free from drama, self-sabotage, and performative spirituality, this book will change your life. Get it, read it, wake the fuck up. Give yourself the gift of presence and a drama-free life. Go right ahead. There's an ebook version of that for $5 if you want to get it. It's also available in our shop. Okay, but let's talk about the guilt dealers, the people who make you feel guilty. Do you know these motherfuckers? Do you know these people who try to make you feel guilty about things that you should do or things that you shouldn't do, things that you should talk about or not talk about? Let's talk about it. They're the silent assassins, and let's not sugarcoat it. People who try to guilt you are trying to kill you. Every guilt trip, every shame bomb, every after all I've done for you is a low-key assassination attempt. They're slipping poison into your psychic coffee. They don't need knives or guns. They've got guilt. And if you swallow it, congratulations. You just let someone else hijack your body and weaponize your immune system against you. Call it what it is, murder with a smile. Now, the antidote is refuse the poison, spot the manipulation, laugh in its face, walk away, because the only thing dumber than carrying your own guilt is lugging around somebody else's too. So if you are forced to go no contact with family members to protect yourself from their guilt missiles, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, all I had to do was breathe. You should be ashamed for breathing. How dare you breathe? And I think, using guilt as a control mechanism. It's a tool of control. I think I get into that in this. Yeah, I do. But on the live stream this morning, we were talking about financial problems and how if somebody who's a controlling person or an abusive person, if they cannot control your money, they will control your ideas about money. They will teach you lack. They will say money is hard to work for, that you'll never make money. You'll never make it. You'll never. They're attempting to control your thoughts. That's mind control. It's mind control to keep you from being able to be independent or take care of yourself. Hey, some of these narcissistic alcoholic abusers think that you want to be a rock star. No, you just want to be able to pay your bills and your rent on time. That's my idea of making it. Hey, I paid my car payment and the phone bill on time. Thank you. I've made it. The bar, for those of us who got out of this shit, hey, the bar is real low here. The bar is really, really low. But guilt is the ego's favorite leash. Let's be real. Guilt is the ultimate tool of control. Why bother with chains or whips when you can just whisper, you should feel bad, and watch people police themselves? Guilt is free, renewable, and works faster than any dictatorship. It's psychological handcuffs you willingly slap onto your own wrist. I think it's cool. Like they have white people out there guilty over being white. Oh gosh. They have people out there feeling guilty, thinking being patriotic is a shameful thing. Like you shouldn't be patriotic. You shouldn't have any borders. You shouldn't do that. God, it's masterful. It's masterful. Just make people feel guilty and they will control themselves. You don't even have to lift a finger. Just make people feel guilty. People are afraid for the worst is making men feeling guilty for being a man. Hey, if you're a man and you feel guilty for being a man, snap the fuck out of it. If you're a woman who thinks that you have to be a certain way in this culture, you don't. Snap the fuck out of it. Everybody, snap the fuck out of it. Now, okay? Just snap out of it. If you're feeling guilt over who you are, that's making you sick. Somebody's trying to control you. They are. So think about it. Parents use it to keep kids obedient. Partners use it to keep you in line. Religions use it to keep you on your knees. And politicians use it to keep you scared. Guilt doesn't need bars. It builds the prison inside your head. And the best part for them, you become your own warden. It's genius level manipulation. Make someone feel guilty, they punish themselves, and you sit back and watch. No force required, just a nudge of shame, and the victim does all the heavy lifting. That's why guilt is so addictive for manipulators. It's clean, it's invisible, it's deniable. They can always say, I didn't make you feel guilty. You made yourself feel that way. Classic abuser gaslighting. The only way out is to call the bluff. See guilt for what it is, a leash designed to keep you docile. And the moment you stop biting, the leash snaps. And consider this, the only way is to call the bluff. If somebody's trying to make you feel guilty for something, you just say, shut the fuck up. Let me teach you this magic incantation. It's shut the fuck up. You can use it at any time and feel no shame or guilt, because I bet you if you start telling people to shut the fuck up, they're actually going to shut the fuck up. It's the same thing with calling out Marxist and communist tactics. Anytime somebody tries to do that Marxist switcheroo on me and I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were a Marxist revolutionary, they stop it. If you call that shit out, they stop it immediately because they know it's a lost cause, because only Marxism and those types of tactics work as long as you don't know about them, as long as you're being a useful idiot. As soon as you know what they are, they're like, oh God, it's just Marxism. Much like, the Cracker Barrel rebrand. Have y'all heard about the Cracker Barrel rebrand, where they're rebranding Cracker Barrel to be more modern by taking out the barrel and taking out the cracker? That's Marxism. It's destroying things that you already know. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but when you know what it is, you don't have, like, why is Cracker Barrel doing this? Why is Cracker Barrel changing it? Because it's Marxism. It's Marxist revolutionary tactics. It's to demoralize you. Are you demoralized or are you just laughing about it? I'm laughing about it. I'm not getting all upset. Taking Aunt Jemima off of anything that's progressive is Marxist. Happy birthday. Now you cannot pay attention to it anymore. But when you call it out, it loses its power. It just loses power. The only way out is to call the bluff. See what guilt for what it is, a leash designed to keep you docile. Another way to call it out is just say, you want me to feel guilty or something? Why don't you just go ahead and be the villain? If people want you to be the villain, just go ahead and be the villain. Claim your power. Claim your fame. I mean, people have painted me a villain. I'm okay with being a villain. It's not who I am, but I'm not going to try to explain anymore to people, especially people who want me to feel guilty over something. And I'm not even going to tell you stories, but the last time somebody tried to make me feel really guilty over something, because I told you I've been sick. I couldn't go to an event because I was sick. These motherfuckers tried to make me feel guilty over me not being able to go to this event because I was sick. And I'm like, oh God, no, fuck y'all. No. Look, bitch, I have been sick. I have IBS. I can't just go anywhere I want to go or go on trips like I used to when I was well. Can't really work the same way that I used to. So people want to make me feel guilty for not being able to work or guilt. Just shut the fuck up. God, don't y'all have shit to do? Don't y'all have shit to do? I don't want them to feel guilty for things. I don't want anybody to feel guilty. Hey, I want everybody to stop feeling guilty for things. I forgive everybody that's hurt me. I have. It's a wonderful place to be. And I have forgiven people, but it also means I don't have to hang out with them again, because obviously that would be insane. I mean, would you invite homeless people into your house to sleep in your bed with you? No. So I can forgive people easier if I know I'm not going to have to deal with their unhingedness anymore. And that might be a key to forgiveness for you. So here's the twist. Healing doesn't start with meds, kale smoothies, or yoga retreats in Bali. It starts with forgiveness, not fake forgiveness, the kind where you secretly still hate them. Real forgiveness, the kind where you let go of the whole story. Forgiveness is guilt kryptonite. It severs the cord between shame and sickness. It doesn't just heal the body, it frees the mind. Hey, I'm not going to tell my story. I'm going to make up a story. I'm just going to make up a story and I'm going to tell you about, let me tell you about Mary. Mary and her mother. And Mary's mother was a raging drunk, caused her a whole lot of problems in her life. And when Mary started going to Al-Anon, she started learning how to set boundaries with her mother and telling her mother that, you know, her drinking wasn't cool. Well, Mary's mother said, well, I'll just stop drinking. And Mary's mother did. But Mary's mother got even more narcissistic and hateful in sobriety because she was no longer having fun in her life. Mary's mother said the alcohol is the problem. And so I'm just going to stop drinking. So because that's the problem, right? No, Mary's mother was sick, angry, bitter, resentful, and the alcohol was her escape from all that. So take away the alcohol and Mary's mother is just more bitter, more resentful, more hateful. And Mary doesn't want to hang out with her mother or see her mother or talk to her anymore because it's too painful. So Mary says, Mom, I can't come over. I can't do this. Mary's mother starts making her daughter feel guilty, starts feeling guilty for this. So Mary goes, visits her mother. She gets a broken leg because when you hang out with these people, something happens. You lose something, a limb or money or something. Y'all can learn this the hard way. I'm sorry, it's funny to me now. But God, when you hang out with people like this, you're just like flat tired, like just God, chaos. So Mary starts feeling guilty because she doesn't want to be around her mother in her chaos anymore. Mary's mother makes her feel guilty, but at some point, Mary has to realize that her mother is not going to change. That in order for Mary to feel good, she's going to have to cut her mother out of her life completely. And she doesn't want to do that. So she does cut her mother out of her life completely, but she still like feels bad. That's because she hasn't forgiven her mother. She hasn't forgiven her mother yet because if she thinks that if she forgives her mother, she's going to have her mother back in her life again. But Mary goes, oh my gosh, I can forgive my mother if I never see her again. I can't have my mother in my life and forgive her at the same time because she's going to keep causing me issues and problems. It's really hard to forgive people who are sabotaging your health and your happiness and abundance. It's really hard to forgive people because I forgive you. I forgive you. It's like you keep getting punched in the face. So it's much easier to forgive if you're never going to get punched in the face again. This is a very hard lesson to get, y'all. Oh my God, it's so hard to get. But once you get it, it's like, oh, I can forgive you because I'm never going to see you again. Oh, thank you. Thank you, spirits. How did that take people so long to get? Oh my God, that's amazing. Because forgiveness is the key to not feeling guilt anymore. Like it's crazy why we would feel guilty for not wanting to be around people who punch us in the face. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh, the implications of it. You think about it, but to heal, you have to forgive. I don't think I can make it any plainer. Of course, Mary did not want to cut her mother out of her life. She was backed into a corner. She was forced to. But her mother would probably still want her to feel guilty over that. And like, as I said in the beginning, people who make you feel guilty, they're trying to kill you. They want you dead. They want you dead. Get it through your head. Come on. So healing is a shift in perception. Your body isn't broken. Your thinking is. Healing is about perception. It's swapping out the guilty lens for the lens of truth. Instead of zooming in on, I suck, I failed, I deserve this, you widen out and you see, I'm not broken. I'm not guilty. I never needed punishment to begin with. When the mind gets clean, the body stops acting out. Simple as that. Let me tell you what I've seen in recovery. I've seen adult children get sober and their parents will come to meetings with them. And in the meetings, they are making their children feel guilty. And I tell people, when you're in recovery, go on your own. Don't bring your mom. Don't bring your dad. Don't bring your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Because if they want to go to meetings with you, they're still trying to control you. Like if you're going to Al-Anon, go to Al-Anon on your own. Don't bring your wife. Don't bring your husband. Don't bring anybody. Merrick and I go to meetings together, but we didn't start that way together. And in fact, in Chicago, we would go to meetings separately. But here in where we are now, they've only got 2 meetings a day and it's the same meeting every day. So there's very few opportunities for us to go to separate meetings. Plus we work a really solid program and we're both in long-term recovery now. But if you're just starting out, do not bring your family into your recovery because your family will probably try to sabotage that. Because if you start wriggling free, it's hard to forgive people who are sabotaging you in real time. I can't impress this enough. But of course, I know that I don't get it. I know I don't understand. I think I'm getting over that. I think over the past couple of weeks, I've gotten over the fact, or the people that kept telling me I don't understand. The more that I talk about this, the better that I get at articulating it. Haven't been always great at articulating it, but I'm like, okay, I might know what I'm talking about. And the reason that I ever felt like I didn't know what I was talking about is that I might have been hanging out with people who had secrets or had things to hide, or people who are having people who have trouble with the truth. Because nobody wants to look inside themselves and see where they're stuck. Nobody does. I certainly don't. I certainly didn't. I don't even like doing it today. But I know I might have to later on today. I might have to in making this video. But nobody wants to naturally do that. So if you come around like, yo, bitch, I'm healing. The truth matters. But if you say the truth matters to somebody with something to hide, they're going to say, you can never really know the truth about anything. Really? I've actually had people say that. But the truth does matter. It really does. And as long as you're doing your shadow work, there's really nothing to hide. Own your shit and know your shit. It's wonderful. But that shift in perception that you have towards healing, like it's not about calling people out. It's not about getting people to own their shit. It's about, I want to be better. I want to feel good. I want my life to be easy because I want to live in truth. Living in truth makes your life very, very easy. Don't you want your life to be easy? I do. I want my life to be easy. So the reset button, Divine Control Alt Delete. There's a cheat code, the reset button. The moment when you hit pause on the endless guilt monologue and realize, wait, none of this crap is even real. It's like unplugging from the matrix, except instead of dodging bullets, you dodge cancer, stress, and IBS. Hey, so you might get terrorized by people who want you to feel guilty over something. I was talking to somebody on the phone about all this stuff at 2020. Like they just wanted you to feel guilty over this, not doing this, not staying this far apart, not wearing this, not getting jabbed with different fucking things. So if you remember those days, what made people sick? Was it a virus or was it all the guilt hanging out in the air? There's a lot of guilt. But the person I was talking to on the phone, they go, I don't fucking play with that shit anymore. I don't fucking play with it. Because the stuff that they told us back then was objectively not true. It's provably not true now. Most of what people made us do back then failed to work. We knew it at the time. Like, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. How did we know it didn't work? Because we have critical thinking skills. But I think people were programmed. But anyway, what happened back then, because we didn't stand up and say, no, that doesn't work. We're not doing that. No. That's crazy. Why would we do something that doesn't work? Because see, at first I thought, well, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to get into these confrontations. But those people had no problem getting into confrontations with me. They had no problem telling me to sit down and shut up when I tried to bring a voice of reason to all of this shit. No. I don't fuck with it anymore. Why would you fuck with stuff that's not true? When somebody brings something to me that's objectively not true, I will say nowadays, that's not true. Where are you getting this shit? Or, okay, believe what you want, but you know, the truth is out there. You can find out the truth about almost anything. They're not even doing a very good job of hiding the truth about it. It's just out there. It's so crazy. Like, if you can fact check almost anything now, but you don't go to the fact checkers, because the fact checkers have a narrative, but you can pretty much see the truth about anything these days if you really want it. But I don't know. People prefer comforting lies to uncomfortable truths. But when you know that the truth makes your life so much easier, living in truth, like, I don't have any stomach pain right now because I'm speaking the truth. But if I have to be in a situation where I have to lie or pretend or to go along with some chicanery, now you might think, when would I have to go along with something? I don't know. If I'm in a doctor's office and somebody says, do you want to, like, some medical nonsense, I might be put on the spot and, like, you know, pressure from doctors to take prescriptions, and like, then my stomach will start hurting. So my stomach starts to tell me if I'm doing some bullshit. And you know what? Somebody told me this in years ago. They said, if my stomach's hurting, it's because I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, thinking about something I shouldn't be thinking about, or talking to somebody I shouldn't be talking to. Those are good rules of thumb. But if you're tired of stress and IBS, just say, why should I feel guilty over any of this shit? Why should I feel bad? I know people who used to say that to me. They go, well, I feel bad. I'm like, well, what is feeling bad? What is feeling bad? My husband did this early in our marriage. He goes, well, I feel bad. I'm like, why would you feel bad over this stuff? Why would you feel bad? Like, if he did something wrong or he thought he did something wrong. I'm like my poor husband. I'm like, what you go through? Why would you just feel bad over just being yourself? So here, we're going to understand guilt as the root of disease. We're not here to tiptoe around guilt anymore. We're here to drag it into the spotlight and tear it apart. Because until we understand guilt, we'll keep pretending disease just happens. Spoiler, it doesn't. Guilt is the spark, disease is the fire. If we don't address the spark, we'll be stuck fighting flames forever. The new frontier of healing isn't about better pills. It's about better perception, about having the courage to admit guilt and shame have been running the show and the guts to cut them off at the root. When we finally understand guilt, not just intellectually, but viscerally, We'll see disease for what it really is, a symptom of a deeper mental infection. And when we heal the guilt, we heal everything. So as a shaman, I am going to be critical of the medical establishment and the mental health industry, maybe even the recovery industry. I mean, as a shaman, that's what I'm going to be. So, I mean, as our goal is not to eradicate or tear down any of these institutions. I mean, I'm not a Marxist, but at the same time, I am going to be highly critical as a shaman, but also as a survivor of all that garbage. So, you know, if I talk shit about therapy or anything like that, there are good therapists out there. Psychiatrists to me seem pretty ethical because anybody with just a little bit of intelligence can see how fucking crazy that shit is. So I don't think there's any truly ethical psychiatrists, but you know, there are some very bad therapists, terrible therapists, just keep the stories going and all that. And then doctors work more for pharmaceutical companies than they do for patients. So yes, I'm going to be critical of all that stuff, but I also know that we do have to work with what we have. And do what we can. You know, I know therapists, they operate in the bounds of what they can do. As a shaman, I'm limited to what I can do for people. That's why I'm primarily an educator shaman, an education shaman. I work with people sometimes, but primarily I'm just a teacher, teaching shaman, a traveling shaman, maybe. So I am going to be critical of these things because as a shaman, I also know what really could help people and heal. And when we finally understand that guilt is the reason that people get sick, then we can stop being sick of it. Because here's the thing. Guilt is the original biological weapon. It makes you sick, keeps you sick, and even recruits other people to deliver the poison. But the moment you stop marinating in shame, stop taking guilt trips as gospel, and start practicing ruthless forgiveness, your body gets the message. We're free now. And that's the day you stop being sick. Aren't you ready for that day to stop being sick? Aren't you ready for it? I am. Why would I feel guilty over living? Why would I feel guilty over decisions that I made when I didn't have all the answers or I didn't have all the information? Why would I feel guilty about that stuff? If somebody tries to make me feel guilty over me not, and this is the crazy, like, Patrick, you're in no contact with your family. That's terrible. You're a terrible son. Bitch, I don't fucking care anymore how you feel about it. I don't care because nobody worked harder to stay in relationship with these people than me. I worked harder to stay in relationship with these people than they ever did to stay in relationship with me. So I know the story about it. Going no contact is the last resort because because it starts to make you sick when you're sober. If you're sober, you don't have numbing agents. So you can put up with the shit. When you're sober, it's like, this is real, raw reality. And if y'all, I'm going to talk to the people who are on drugs right now, you microdosers, you drinkers, all that stuff. If you took that stuff away, you wouldn't be able to stand the people that you hang out with. That's for sure. You wouldn't be able to put up with it. So when somebody wants to make me feel guilty about some of the things that I just simply can't do anymore, I'm like, you be sober. Please go be sober for a year and you tell me how quick your opinion changes about that. For real. But I don't feel guilty anymore. I can't because it's stupid. Why would you feel guilty about wanting to save your own life? You wouldn't. And now we come to the medicine. Are you ready for the medicine? You want some medicine for all this stuff? Let's get to the medicine about all this. What to do with all the guilt, aka how to stop letting it rot you. If you're sick, diseased, or your body feels like a malfunctioning amusement park ride, here's the brutal truth. You're carrying unconscious guilt. Don't take that as another reason to beat yourself up. Take it as a diagnosis. The guilt isn't proof you're bad. It's proof your mind has been running malware in the background and your body is flashing the error codes. So what do? Here's your starter kit. Name the bastard. Drag the guilt into the light. Say it out loud. Write it down. Confess it to your cat. Whatever. Say, I feel guilty for blank. Naming it stops it from slinking around in the shadows. Ooh, so grab a pen. Grab a piece of paper. I feel guilty for, I'm going to use myself, for not speaking to my family. I do feel guilty over that. It's unconscious guilt. So I'm going to say, I feel guilty for not speaking to any member of my family. All right. So there we go. Let's go to the next part. Ask whose voice it is. Most guilt isn't even yours. It's hand-me-down poison from parents, partners, churches, or society. Ask yourself, who taught me this guilt? Who benefits from me feeling bad? Spoiler alert, not you. Okay, so let me use myself as an example again. Obviously, my family was using me for something. Maybe a scapegoat, maybe a dumping ground or whatever. So if I feel enough guilt, I'll probably go back around, right? I'll probably go back around to that shit. I'll probably line up for that shit like government cheese. I'll be like, yeah. So the guilt is there because they want me to come back around again. I don't know why. I don't know why people want people around that they hate. That's crazy. So yeah, it's not even my voice. Why would I feel guilty over shit like that? I don't know. I must be delusional. So no, it's not my voice. It's not my guilt. It wasn't placed there in me. No. So let's do this. Practice the so what test. You screwed up. So what? You disappointed someone. So what? You didn't meet some fake ass standard. So what? Guilt loses its grip when you refuse to act like it's sacred. So what? So what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Every Christmas, my family had this huge extended family celebration, usually on New Year's Eve. So there would be like a few hundred people there. And it was this big celebration. And really, when I was a child, it was nice. All the extended family could get together. And it was a lot of fun. I got to see cousins I never saw before. But by the time that I was in my 30s, people stopped coming. Why? Well, because everybody was hateful and mean and bitchy. And I remember my aunt saying, I don't know why people don't want to come to the family reunion anymore. And I wanted to say, well, because y'all are all just a bunch of complaining, naggy bitches. I should have said that. Because all you do is complain and criticize everybody. But I let them have it. They just couldn't understand. I don't understand why people don't want to come, be looked at and made fun of and all that. Oh God, vicious people. But so what? So what? So what? So what? So here, forgive without conditions. Forgiveness isn't about excusing the past. It's about refusing to keep reliving it. Forgive yourself, forgive the other person, and forgive the whole damn story. No one gets to live rent-free in your body anymore. And like I said before, forgiveness is easy when you don't have to see these people again. You may say, well, Patrick, I got obligations. I've got obligations. You are not obligated to be around people who put you down. And it doesn't matter if it's your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, or your dad or your mom. If people put you down or criticize you or guilt trip you, tell them to knock it off. And if they don't knock it off or hang it up, get the fuck out of there. It's so simple, isn't it? But replace punishment with permission. Guilt wants you to punish yourself forever. Flip it. Give yourself permission instead. Permission to rest, permission to laugh, permission to not be perfect, permission to actually live without dragging your sins behind you like a ball and chain. Because if somebody wants you to feel guilty about something, you're punishing yourself and they don't have to lift a finger. And, we don't care where it started. It probably didn't start with the people who guilt trip you. Like, guilt was a thing. I mean, I was raised Catholic. It's a tool of control. It gets people in the seats. It gets people handing over their money. If you can guilt people into it, they'll do it. Hey, the Human Rights Campaign, the ADL, all of these political organizations, guilt is their currency. And when you stop feeling guilty over things, there's really no power. Like, I don't feel guilty over being a white man. I don't feel guilty over being a gay guy in America. I don't feel guilty over being a shaman. I don't feel guilty over being able to speak the truth to people. I don't feel guilty over being able to tell people to shut the fuck up when they come around with some shenanigan noise. Why would I feel guilty for telling people to not lie to me? It's wild, isn't it? It's wild. But getting out of this guilt means that your health will be restored to you. You'll feel better when you're no longer guilty. But there's something in you that's addicted to the pain. There's something in you that's addicted to the chemicals that get released when you're feeling guilt. That's an addiction, and you might have to deal with that addiction. But here's the bottom line. If you're carrying guilt, your body will carry disease. When you drop the guilt, the body doesn't have to keep waving the red flag. Healing starts when you stop treating guilt like a holy truth and start treating it like the imposter that it is. Oh, the guilt ain't even true. The guilt is a story. The guilt is just a story that you believed, and it's not even a true story. And when you unlock the source of that guilt, unlock the source of that pain, unlock the source of that suffering, you probably won't even get sick again. You'll never be sick again. Who doesn't want to be happy, healthy, and free? You'd be surprised. All right, that ends this episode on guilt making you sick. I hope you learned something today. I know I did. Today's song is Unlock the Source. This is one of the first songs that I wrote as a sober person. And it's about unlocking the source of pain. Now, we did make a version of this for, I did vocals on it and everything, but as a test, we used AI to create a new version of it. So I'm going to play that version for you now. I want you to have a beautiful, lovely day. Don't forget, tomorrow, instead of a deep dive, I'm going to be doing a live stream, the first ever live stream here. So please check that out. I hope to see many of you tomorrow at 10 a.m. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you for watching and growing with us. So I'm going to turn it over to the song now. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Can you feel it when it flows? Can you feel it when you just know it? Can't you feel it when it goes? Can't you feel it when you want to blow it? Can you feel it? Leaves you reeling when you feel it. Let it go. If you feel it, then you'll heal it. Unlock the source and let it go. You can't steal it. You must peel it like an onion for a heart. Let it go when you pray that it goes away and that you can't stay in that. Let it go. If you're afraid, then you got it made. You're hot in the shade and you always get paid. Angels come to your aid. All you gotta do is stay, then you will know. You're ashamed to cry. You'll never ever fly, and you always wonder why people punch you in the eye. Even angels learn to fly. All you gotta do is try, then you will grow. Can you feel it? You try to steal it. You must feel it. Let it go. Can you feel it? You can't steal it. Unlock the source and let it go. you for calling Dr. Denton's office. The psychiatrist with a smile. How can I direct your call?
Hey, listen here. I tried all your damn pills. I tried all of that stuff. Sir? I tried Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism. Sir? Alcoholism, acid, mushrooms. Calm down!
I never found anything that way. Calm down. I found myself by losing myself, and I discovered.
Listen to this. I discovered I never existed in the first place.